Hello everyone, this is Colin on the ASCA channel, and here we are for the Pennzoil Pro Series Race 11 at Pocono, and we're at the Tricky Triangle once again this week, this time for the Pennzoil Pro Series race. We are only 5 races out into the chase, so we're going to look at your point standings here. You want to try to make gains to get inside the top 20, and as we see on the next page right now, Cesar Chavez, Daniel Voiles, both looking for good days to try to put themselves in a position be inside the top 20. Still 5 races left, but you gotta start thinking about it at this point in the going. Anyways, let's see your starting lineup here, as the 83 car will get your pole award, and Jay Durrel will start on the outside. Row 2, Cody Russell and Derek Petrie make up that row, both Big Motorsports teammates. Row 3, Jay Barker and Blaine Keys, Talladega winner. Row 4, Arsha Sain looking to turn his season around, and Nikita Riskov, who's risen through the points recently. Row 5, Brian Lenning also looking to get some more points on the board for him, and Webster Zygarde. Row 6, last week's winner at Dover, Kyle Singer, and Brian Boone, 2-time winner this year. Row 7, single car team, Nicholas Samudio and Zach Kamoski. Row 8, Cole Baker and Nick Purcell's, Cole with a very nice starting spot. Row 9, Zach Cars and Michael Jones trying to bring Bad Dad Racing a win of his own. Row 10, Ryan Dunn and Addison Steinbeck, possibly the worst driver from the first season, this year at least. Row 11, Ryan Kendall and Jack Newman. Row 12, Rick Witt looking for a good race here, and Matthew Brown for DW Motorsports. Row 13, Stuart Bratton and Jose Vaquez. Row 14, Aaron Lukes and Cesar Chavez, Martinsville winner, looking to bounce himself up inside the top 20. Row 15, Tyler Selspin and Joseph Wrigley. Row 16, William Brock making a race, and James Johnson, both rookies in that row. Row 17, Daniel Maxwell and Daniel Voiles, both drivers on the outside of the cut line looking to make their way in. Sam Rogers and Eric Willis, both in the chase and both driving for Alley Motorsports in row 18. Row 19, Tony Green and Jeremy Jones. Row 20, John Gilbert back in the car, and Brock McMahon is outside. And then finally, row 21, John Cittadino and Allison Davidson. They are the people that did not qualify for the race, and we are about to get set to get the command to go green. There it is, the green flag is out in the air, and the cars will launch down into turn 1. Dead even coming off the corner, Jay Durrel still holding a fight against the 83 car of Kyle Collins. Kyle, 2-time winner this season. One of the races, however, was a non-points race. However, he will make it to the front. Durrel did not get a good run through turn 2 there, and he is falling back. Already 2 cars making it by him. Kyle Collins, though, would like to be the first 3-time winner this season. However, Derek Petrie looking to get Big Motorsports their 2nd win and his 1st of the year. Big Motorsports achieved their 1st win last week with Kyle Singer. A surprising first victory, actually, because Singer was a bit of an oddball coming to Big Motorsports with not much success at Bad Dad Racing last year. We're riding on board Derek Petrie right now, Valvoline sponsoring the car for this week. They will come on board the car 2 more times in the season. Currently, Petrie showing him off right now as he's trying to go after the 83 car in lap 2. So far, the trouble spot, though, has been turn 2. The cars, it seems like you just need to be on the inside or else you get super tight. That also reminds me, in practice, there were tire issues. So, a little nudge there by Petrie. The 83 car a little loose there going through the corner, but Petrie was not able to capitalize. But the tires are also going to be becoming a concern this race because the track seems to burn tires a lot quicker than other tracks. So we're going to have to see how that impacts pit strategy and maybe even some tire problems on the track here today. But Derek Petrie is not wasting any time as he is going to go to the front now. Kyle Collins still proving the fight on the outside, but he's going to have some help from Jay Barker in the number 2 car. Barker in the Bass Pro Shop Chevy, looking to get a 2nd win this season. He won earlier this year at race 2 at Atlanta. I also see Arsha Sain coming behind there, and following him in the 43 car, Jay Durrel. He's making his way back up. However, Jay Durrel has been fighting a very tight car today. and has been screaming on the radio that he's going to need some adjustments if he wants to be competitive the rest of the race. Anyways, the 2 car will get around the 83, and following him is his teammate Arshasain. Durrel continues to fall now, as this was not what we expected from last year's winner. Fifth Squad Australia Racing, though, has announced that they will be fielding a team in the Cockpit Amateur Series. That will be interesting to see. They will use the number 59. That number actually is not new to the team. They actually ran that car once in the Pennzoil Pro Series in race 22 at Watkins Glen in the very first season. Here's the 26 car of Eric Willis, Zest on board the car. Currently, however, Zest is up in the air about whether they will be coming back to this team next year. Malley Motorsports, though, is looking just to try to concentrate on this year, because it looked like they had this year all wrapped up, but in the end, they've started to just fall off the radar, along with a lot of Toyota teams. After the road course, the double road course races, it just has not been Toyota's year so far. So Eric Willis slipping down the points. He is 9th right now, so not doing too bad, but if he continues to have bad runs, he might end up falling out of the top 20 before the end of this. In front of him, Zach Komoski. There is definitely no one who's having worse luck than he is either. Jay Barker, though, in the front, he is currently 2nd in points, trailing Jay Durrel. And you see Kyle Collins back here. He is 5th in points. Collins stating that he is surprised he is so far down in points, despite how well they've run. Very, very confident in their team. Now, remember, last season they didn't even make the chase. So if they can make it this year, that'll be a step up from what they did last year. But Collins, which was a top-tier team in Season 1 and didn't even make the chase in Season 2, was very surprising. They're looking to regain that lost respect they got in Season 1. Tony Green is having an awesome run. In fact, I wouldn't even call it awesome. I'd call it a spectacular run. He is 30 spots up from where he started this race. He started on the outside of row 19, and he has fought his way up to the top 10. And currently he is giving everyone a show today, as he is the dark horse of the race by far. We're going to see some green flag pit stops. Derek Petrie is going to lead the field in behind Nikita Rizkov, Arshasain, Webster Zagard. And there's a problem on pit road. Arshasain turned around. Hossein looks like he will be able to get it going again. And we're going to look on board Webster Zagard, and nowhere for Hossein to go. A little bit aggressive coming into pit road, but he's trying to get all he can. And that is unfortunate, because that 9 team needs some good luck here, or else they might not be in the running for the championship, which would be a disaster for National Racing. Here's another National Racing car, Jay Barker, making his way on the pit road, as he'll pull into his pit stall without a problem. However, the leader after the cycle of pit stops is Brian Boone in the Lego Dodge, the only driver to officially win 2 points races this year. And the 70 car currently out front, and with a very quick pit stop, he leads Derek Petrie. Kyle Collins had a jackman slip when he ran around the car, and Collins now is deeper in the field. Not out of contention, though, by any means. He is sitting in 7th in the running order right now. However, he's going to have to gain a lot more ground if he wants to end up winning this race by the end of the day. See Nikita Rizkov back there in the 16, also with a very solid run. Looking back at Blaine Keys, Blaine was put on probation for 5 races after his actions at Dover, along with the 96 car of Ryan Dunn. Keys, though, has had probably one of the worst cars all weekend long, I should say, because in practice and qualifying, this car was not where it needed to be. A dramatic decrease of the power that we saw at Talladega, so really things have gone down ever since that race. However, Stuart Gratton, the 6 car, has been saying that his cars keep getting better and better. So the 6 car, who was in contention for the Rookie of the Year and was up front, has slipped, but he's feeling that he could get back in the running very shortly here. You saw the 45 dip down pit road. They thought they had a tire going down. However, it was not the case. So not what they wanted to see, but Cittadino, trying to be careful, made the wrong decision. How about this, though? If we're talking about back markers, you saw the 4 car was behind the 53, but it did not take him long for Daniel Maxwell to get by him, and Daniel is now on top of the board. Also falling behind is the 83 of Kyle Collins. Both those drivers now 1 and 2. Collins looking to get himself back on top of the board, and Maxwell trying to get a good race under his belt. He's had a decent season so far. He's by no means out of contention to win the championship, or even make the chase. He is 23rd in points. He has a realistic shot of making it, but obviously the 4-car, he needs to keep up the good finishes, and leading is definitely what you want to do if you're in his situation. Tire down on the 00, as the 00 is going to come down pit road. We were talking about tire issues. The 45 thought he had a tire down, was not the case, but the 00, he had a tire down for real. However, he got pretty lucky though, because the field ended up having pit stops right after. Maxwell would continue to lead after the round of pit stops, and still currently no caution on the track, so it has only been green flag pit stops. Behind him, though, Webster Zygarde, they have fine-tuned his car, and finally it looks like he's going to get it done during race day. Once again, I think he's topped the practice charts like 6 times this year, however has not been able to transfer that speed to race day, and Zygarde finally looking to get a shot of speed here today, and he is going to go try to challenge the 4-car. Talk about a backmarkers game though. You see Tony Green up to 4th. That is over a 30 position increase from where he started. And problems with the 22 car as well. He is coming down pit road. That does not, I don't believe that is a tire issue though. They are reporting lack of power with that car. Interesting. The 4 car, however, he was not caught by Webster Zygarde, but Derek Petrie got to him first. Now that light blue Chevy is bearing down on the 4 car, but he has an entire field with him. You see the 12, the 44, the 62 has also made his way up into this pack. A lot of midfield towards back markers running in the front here, so it's very nice to see that. But drivers like the 43 of Jay Durrell, who we thought was going to win this race, are running outside top 20 right now. Here's another guy that I want to point out, Joseph Srigley, running 7th right now. This is a team that desperately needs a good run, because Srigley has been plagued with penalties, I should say, because he was penalized at the New Hampshire race, the Rainy race, and at Road America for his incident towards the end of the race. But the 1 car just trying to get back in the game, and he's currently running worse than he was in his rookie season. So the 1 car just trying to show that he does belong in this sport, and he doesn't want to make any more mistakes at least. And it looks like we'll be seeing our final round of green flag pit stops. Petrie and Daniel Maxwell lead them in. And the last car to end up coming down pit road is Jay Barker, or excuse me, there's still 1 car left out on the track. That's Nicholas Mudio. But Bark, you see coming out, he will not get out in front of the leaders. Instead, it looks like Webster Zygarde and Joseph Srigley are going to get out on top. We're going to have to see. You see Joseph Srigley actually giving the 12 a run for his money. All of a sudden, a good, strong run out of the 1 car. He was outside the top 30 in practice charts versus the highest driver in practice. And very, very interesting to see this play out here today. It's definitely been a backmarkers race, even more so than Daytona, it seems like. But you see Nicholas Mudio coming out. Will he keep the lead? He needs to block Zygarde. He will give Zygarde the high line, but it looks like he'll be able to keep up pace. So we have a 3-car battle for the lead as it stands. However, Samudio is not going to get the best speed in the next 2 laps, and he will get passed from behind by the 53 and the 4. 2 very fast cars today. Both of them have led over half the laps run today. But you see Tony Green just can't give enough to this Global Autosports car. One of the Mustang development teams alongside DW Motorsports that has a car right in front of them. This team has definitely needed a good run, and being 2 years in the sport, this is the run that they've been looking for. Cittadino obviously a lap down and having problems, but I'm glad to see Tony Green having a good shot at it here. Jay Barker, though, moving into position, though. He's up to 3rd. He definitely is not a stranger to winning. And I'm sure that he might want to give these big motorsports guys up front a run for their money at least. You see Derek Petrie actually making a move underneath Webster Zygarde. Petrie going to the lead with 3 to go. The lap car of Nick Purcell's could become a problem. He is a little off the pace due to due to him not being, he hasn't been very quick all weekend, but the 00 car is a little off pace compared to the top drivers. We're gonna have to see if that plays a factor. It doesn't look like, as they managed to get around him pretty well, and we are on our final lap. Derek Petrie is out front, and the 12 car has fallen back to 6th. Barker, though, has a shot to get by him. I don't believe the Mustangs will have a shot, but maybe if they can pair up and they can draft to the front, although that'll be a long shot with turn 2 being at this track. See Derek Petrie going down the long pond stretch. The 2 car right on his heels. Turn 2 has been the problem spot for a lot of passing today. Looks like Petrie and Barker both will get through the turn very well. And now, through the final corner, who will prevail? Petrie with a good drive into the corner. Barker right behind. Petrie looked like he went up just a bit. Got his tires in that light gray stuff, but he does manage to hold it. Barker coming behind him, but it'll not be enough. Checkered flag goes to Derek Petrie. And Barker was on his toes the entire time, but he was not able to get that run that he needed, as Derek Petrie will get Big Motorsports' second win in a row and their second win this season. And Derek's first, might I add. He wanted that win for himself too. So congratulations to Derek Petrie as he shows his new sponsor proud, and he does a victory burnout. Here are your finishing results. Again, Tony Green, a solid 3rd place with Daniel Maxwell in 4th. That will definitely help out his points situation. Joseph Srigley, Nicholas Smudio, John Gilbert in 13th even. All great runs. Looking down the list, the 21 car, he was running up front, as well as the 20 and the 7 and the 5. Those cars slipped late in the going. Also, Durrel, how about it, last year's defending winner, not showing anything today. He slipped all the way to 30th. And Zach Cars also, with 5 laps to go, had an engine expire. Here are the point standings. Durrell on the top of the board, but he came in with a 39-point lead. Now only leads by 4. And you see the cut line. Daniel Maxwell with a great run is in 17th in on points now. Cesar Chavez and Daniel Voiles out. Well, that's all for now. The Pennzoil Pro Series and the ASCA League. We'll join you next time for Watkins Glen for race 12. We'll see you all next time.